Y'all gonna be mad at me. The dislikes on this mother are gonna be plentiful.
See this brother win, man. Hey, look, what is a win, babe? What is a win, babe? What is a win, babe?
Well, hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Today's looky would be our ultimate animal print turban. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's start talking about something new and spectacular. Anita Pointer and Fritz Pointer's Fairytale, the Pointer Sisters family story. Our neighborhood was mostly black, mostly poor working class, although there were white people on one side of us on 18th Street. A man named Frank lived next door, and he and his family were one of the only whites on the block. I never knew their last name, but they had a huge windmill in their backyard. Frank also made wine. Around the same time every year, we could smell it all over the neighborhood. We also had grapevines and a fig tree in our own backyard. And Papa, our grandfather, grew corn and raised rabbits. Fuck you raising rabbits for, though? I could see like chickens or cows. Wait a minute. Now, you know, black folks, they will eat a rabbit, okay? Not me. I don't eat rabbits. Fuck them rabbits, okay? Or possum. Like, ooh, give me 2 minutes. So one time I was living in D.C., right? Real close to the zoo. And when I tell you, it used to be this possum that used to trigger my light to go off, because it was like a motion light, right? That motherfucker was like this, but big. I mean, it was big, right? And I was telling my grandmother, who from the South, right? I was like, Ma, I ain't never seen nothing like that before in my life. That shit is this big. It was like this, Grandma, like this. She was like, ooh, baby, sound like good eating. I was like, I'm dead. Grandma, nobody wants to eat that shit. That shit is outside. That is nasty, Grandma. Sometimes when there were evening dances or other social events, fights would break out. Okay, but dig this. She said that her pappy would be out front looking. Is that Henry over there fighting again? Is he drunk? That's him. Let me go on out there and try to break that up. You better stay your bitch ass in the house before you get hurt. And that's just what his wife said. Somebody gonna hit you in the head one of these days. You better get your old ass back in his house and take your Geritol and let me rub this lemonade on your gout. On the other side of us were the Rapassas, an Italian family. Patsy Rapassa was my best friend until we moved away to 408 Oakland Avenue when I was 12 years old. We went to elementary school together, but her mother and father were so strict with her that they wouldn't let her out of the yard after school. Child. Oh my God, what the little girl name is? Patsy probably somewhere smoking meth. It is no reason to be that damn strict with your children. Nita said that the only time that they could play with each other was through the fence because they live right next door to each other. They used to have to play with each other through the fence. Girl, what the hell? Even though we weren't supposed to, as soon as Mom and Dad left us at home alone for a prayer or usher board meeting or choir practice, we turned on the radio and heard the Platters singing Only You and the Great Pretenders, Elvis singing Heartbreak Hotel. Go see that movie. Don't get caught up in the bullshit, because some crazy person, public enema, okay? What did he say? Elvis was simply racist, straight up and plain. Him and John Wayne. Now, I ain't trying to protect John Wayne because I don't know that nigga. Sam Cooke with The You Send Me. Nina Simone pouring her heart out on I Love You, Porgy. And Etta James with her powerful song, All I Could Do Was Cry. The goal was to squeeze in as much music as we could before mom and dad got home. In the early 60s, I attended Oakland Technical High School. I didn't get to sing as much as I had in other grades. Actually, I didn't do any singing in high school. I was in drama and acted in plays. I had the role of Lady Macbeth and really liked that play. Thomas Wayne, my drama teacher at Tech, was also fantastic. We did A Raisin in the Sun. What a wonderful play, and still a relevant story. I must admit, I had a crush on Mr. Wayne, a gorgeous man. He still sends me a Christmas card every year. Ted Lang, who became an actor known mostly for playing the role of Isaac on The Love Boat. Soon we'll be making another run. You know I love these songs. The Love Boat. Promise is something for everyone. That was my shit. You couldn't tell me nothing. When grandma let me stay up to watch The Love Boat on the ABC, I knew I wanted to be on The Love Boat. I knew I was going to find my husband on The Love Boat. And we were in plays together like Macbeth and Thornton Wilder's The Skin of Our Teeth. We fancied ourselves serious thespians, among other things. I was very active at Oakland Tech and joined every committee and group I could. Along with not listening to secular music, there were other rules that I found unfair. Girls couldn't wear pants to school. We could only wear dresses and skirts. And I thought that was ridiculous, especially on rainy days. And when it was cold, who made up the silly rule? I wanted to wear pants too. Child, that reminded me of private school. Throughout high school, I was very insecure as a girl. And I'm sure that's why I didn't have boyfriends. I really didn't think anybody liked me. Not even my sisters. I felt like I was ugly, the fat girl who wore glasses. Ironically, I was head of the senior prom committee, and I couldn't get a date. Nobody asked me, and everybody I asked turned me down. This was in June of 1965. In May of that year, I had met a boy named David at a party. He seemed like a nice guy, so I called him. He was much older, but I went out with him anyway and ended up getting drunk on screwdrivers, vodka, and orange juice. I was a virgin. I was 17. And the unthinkable happened. See what I tell you, all you church folks? You trying to... Remember Curry? Remember the movie Curry? With Sissy Spacek and that crazy ass mammy? She used to lock that girl up in the corner or in the closet with candles and crucifixes and shit. And all Curry wanted to do was just go to a goddamn prom. You know, and the lady was like, I can see your dirty pillows. She was like, no, mama. It's breast, mama. It's called breast. She was like, no, don't go. The devil's going to get on your back and I'm not going to be able to get you up. And you see what happened to the Curry, okay? She turned into some fire-breathing dragon. Okay? Y'all going to be mad at me. The dislikes on this mother are going to be plentiful. To make matters worse, after passing my ACT and SAT exams and being accepted to Howard University, I found out I was pregnant. I was 17. I really deeply believed that this was the end of my dreams, of college, of singing. I would just end up a mother and a housewife. Of course, my parents were disappointed. Several members of the church were especially critical and mean to them. What kind of pastor can't even control his own daughters? How can they lead the church and can't lead their family? Not long after that, the church officials asked our father to step down as pastor. See what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? They didn't raise him up only to drag him down. That's why I don't do it, man. The most hypocritical, judgmental motherfuckers in the world, next to Virgos. Those horrible events did not help my self-esteem. I thought my life was over. College was out of the question. I had no idea what I would do. Long ago, I had promised myself I wouldn't be a housekeeper or an office worker. I wanted something different. I had dreams, and I felt like I had just messed up everything. For a long time after that horrible night with the screwdrivers, just the smell of oranges made my stomach turn. So I did what I thought I had to do. I got married. He took classes at Merritt College and drove a truck delivering medical supplies and equipment. I was at a club one evening when I was 8 months pregnant. The fuck you doing at the club 8 months pregnant? That'd be befuddling to me. You'd be like, what the fuck is she doing here? Why is she here? Why is she 8 months pregnant in the club? I mean, I don't know. Explain it to me. Those of you who go partying at 8 months pregnant, I mean, let me know. I shouldn't have been out. But there I was. Okay, she knows she shouldn't have been out. Okay. But there I was. My husband had told me he was out of town delivering medical equipment. All of a sudden, he walked in with this floozy and all hell broke loose. Good. It was during those years when women blamed other women and never the man. I ended up going home with him in that stupid truck. I never really knew him, and he never really knew me. Despite my vow to not be an office worker, I loved operating the PBS switchboard, and it felt like I was on an episode of I Love Lucy. I eventually found a job working in a law firm and even typed up my own divorce decree. My brothers were older and focused on their own promising futures. Aaron was high school class president, and both were star athletes. They dated all the pretty girls and had clothing accounts funded by working summer jobs. Fritz got into trouble his last year of junior high and spent a year in reform school. It changed his life. When he got out, he had a new set of friends and became a good student and athlete. Both received athletic scholarships to attend universities. Aaron went to the University of San Francisco and Fritz to Creighton University in Omaha, Nebraska. In 1962, Aaron was drafted out of college to play professional baseball for the Houston Colt 45s. What? Like the beer? Like the Billy D. Williams beard, Colt 45. Stop it. Good thing, too, because his son Derek was born October 9th, 1961. He played on the first team to have all rookies in the starting lineup. He was, as of 2020, the last professional baseball player to bat 400. Our cousin Paul Silas, one of the sons of Uncle Leon, our mother's brother, grew up in the same house with us. He graduated from Creighton University and became a professional basketball player and NBA coach. Then there's my brother Fritz. When he graduated from Creighton University in 1966, he had several offers to play professional basketball, including the St. Louis Hawks, Detroit Pistons, and even the Harlem Globetrotters. Instead, he became a political activist. Fritz also attended UCLA and UW-Madison for graduate degrees. He was a college professor for 30 years and published 2 books. By 1966, I was 18, married, and had been out of the family house for a year or so. My daughter Jada was born April 9th, 1966, but I still took time to be involved in the movement. Bonnie, Fritz, Barbara Page, his then wife, and I helped to organize the first Black Power and Arts Conference in the state, maybe the country. It was held in San Francisco with big names in attendance like Milana Karanga, Stokely Carmichael, Rap Brown, and playwright Ed Boland. I was so involved in the movement that I became an activist. I also remember that night that Huey Newton got shot and had allegedly shot and killed an Oakland police officer. Girl, you better put that allegedly on it, girl. He was at our center at a party we were having. He left the party, and the next thing we heard was that Huey was shot. We organized a caravan of about 7 cars and made our way to Highland Hospital. The police had surrounded the entrance and were standing in front of their cars, pointing their rifles and guns at us with dogs on leashes. I was so scared. I knew right then there had to be another way. We don't even have a safe hospital to take people to if they got wounded. The thing that changed my mind about the Panthers, though, was a few years later in 1972 when they attacked my brother, Fritz. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share the Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. Now remember this, the same people that you meet on the way up will always be the same people that you meet on the way down. My bra showing. Naysayers, my patron loves you babies. Have a good one. Peace.